here we are, on and on. My people come alive. Here we are.
Sunshine of North London. Just over on the far touchline. Perisic coming back, finding Modric. Perisic with an opportunity to try and take on Kyle Walker. He checks, gets it onto his right foot, still can't deliver. Defending good enough, Gvardiol will be able to bring it forward. Modric around the edge of the penalty area trying to ghost through, but the whistle has gone. Pickford actually made a decent save after a free kick was given. And it's an opportunity for England just to be able to get the ball out of harm's way from the back. 0-0, 4 minutes gone on TalkSport.
Yeah, just looking at our midfield shape of Rice, Phillips and Mount, it's Ricey who's sort of being a central figure, and the deeper of the two, allowing Phillips on the right-hand side just to flourish a little bit, push on, lock onto people, same with Mount as well. So I think it'll be Ricey who'll be asked to get in and around Modric and make sure he doesn't cede any space there.
Well, the referee had actually stopped play because the ball had hit him. It was a drop ball to Croatia, which they worked out towards the right-hand touchline and gave away, sending a high ball sailing over the head of Vasalico. And out for a throw which will be taken on the England left-hand side. Stuart Pearson, Sol Campbell alongside me, Jim Proudfoot here at Wembley, under the arch on a glorious day. Here's Sterling able to bring the ball forward and find Foden, takes it into his stride, will check, left-footed shot across the face of goal, hits the inside of the post. And Gvardiol is there to clear. His first contribution in a major tournament, so nearly ending up in a goal. Great interplay between Sterling and Foden has it again. Just play back towards Kyle Walker. What a start that would have been. Foden again checking, laying it back for Calvin Phillips. He just has a swagger about him. Phil Foden, born to succeed at major tournaments, you would think, with his style of play, his competence, his confidence, and wonderful ability in possession, and very nearly giving England a 6-minute lead.
I think that's just shown that we don't need to play at Croatia's tempo and speed. We need to play at our own speed and tempo. And the pace we've got up front and the threat we got up front, the more we can service those front players and the quicker we can do it, the better. Top quality effort there by Foden. It was just the lick of paint on the inside of the post that kept that one out.
Now England will work it forward at the other end with Sterling giving chase, but it's just rolled away from him and goes out of play. Interesting that Croatia have started with Rebic playing up front, Kramaric playing on the right wing, Ante Rebic playing through the middle. He scored against Argentina in the last World Cup and scored 11 league goals in each of his 2 seasons with Milan. Andre Kramaric, who has been absolutely prolific for Offenheim, nearly 100 goals in less than 200 games, but he started off on the right. Declan Rice handing the ball away through the midfield. You're with TalkSport, 7 gone. England have already hit the frame of the goal, but haven't hit the net, and it's 0-0. Rice laying it back towards John Stones. The referee's whistle has gone again. It's a free kick which will be taken by England. Mings down to Trippier. Kieran Trippier sending a long left-footed ball forward. It's an excellent run from Mount, who will go down towards the corner flag. He's drawing Vida out of position. And Mount able to get good possession just on the left-hand touchline, finding Sterling. Trippier's made a run forward for him on the overlap. Worked infield instead towards Mason Mount. Mount into the feet of Kane. Kane trying to turn inside the air. Sterling takes it on, but can't get a shot in. It's a corner. Kane thought that he might have had a penalty, and Sterling maybe had a penalty shot as well as Chaladisar came across, but it is going to be an England corner.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here, England playing at a tempo that is really causing Croatia a bit of a problem. And my advice would be, don't be shy in getting the ball forward. Get it in behind their back line for runners, whether it be Mount, whether it be Sterling, and it will cause them a big problem.
So this first corner is going to be a Mason Mount in-swinging delivery from the England left-hand side. And he's got 4 in and around the edge of the 6-yard box. Tyrone Mings is making a slightly later run. It's deeper towards John Stones, who's just beaten. It's a volley, right-footed volley from the edge of the penalty area. Well hit by Calvin Phillips. And it was a decent save from Livakovic, who got down to his right-hand side. Ball cleared out of play for a throw. This has been a bright, promising start as far as Gareth Southgate's men are concerned. 0-0, but England have asked the most potent and pertinent questions in the opening 9 minutes. Tyrone Mings just down into the little thin corridor of shadow on the left-hand touchline, the near side as far as we look at it, with Rice playing it forward for Mount. Mount back for Sterling, to Rice again. Options to his right-hand side include Walker. Walker playing it forward now towards Foden. Foden controlling it neatly. Works it away from Perisic. Just playing it back in towards the edge of the penalty area. John Stones will twist away. He finds Walker. Walker back out for Stones again. Stones about 8 or 9 yards inside the Croatian half. 4 from Foden. Deflected out of play for a throw to be taken on the England right-hand side.
I think it's really important, Jim, that England, if they've got a forward pass, make that forward pass. Don't come out, don't play safe, because I think that's really causing a problem.
Kane firing it inside the penalty area. Wonderful scoop in with the outside of the right boot after a great move between him and Foden. Phillips then does well to retain possession with 2 Croatians around him. Brozovic snapping at his heels, but he maintained it very well. This has been an excellent start. England playing at a decent tempo. No sign of any real early nerves. Going to the opposition. It hasn't always been the way in the first match of a major tournament. You need so much from the opening exchanges. Here's Matt. Now back to Phillips. Walker making a good early run down the England right-hand side. Just couldn't quite control it, and it drifts away and goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, they've really had problems with players, Sterling, Foden, Mount, just coming off and dropping into little wide areas to receive. And just having a little look at the volley from Phillips. Absolute sensational volley. Watched it straight onto his foot, went through legs, and the goalkeeper done very well to parry out.
He's still waiting for his first goal for England, Calvin Phillips. It's only a 9th cap for him today. Only made his debut back in September. A very different England side in this first game than it would have been in the first game of the tournament in 2020. Kane finding Foden now inside the penalty area. Foden just laying it across the edge of the box, too far ahead of Mason Mount. He can get there, but can't run onto it and get a shot in. Back it goes from Sterling to Mount again on the corner of the penalty area, with Mount making a run down the inside left channel. Work back instead for Foden, but control not so neat and tidy that time. An opportunity for Kovacic to put his foot on the ball. Saliko then playing it back for Kovacic again. Croatia try and bring it forward, but Brozovic has given it away. It was a relatively simple pass to Luka Modric, but he's missed him by 4 or 5 yards. And it goes out of play for an England throw on the left-hand touchline. With TalkSport, 11 minutes gone. England 0, Croatia 0.
Yeah, I think England's start has been that positive after the first maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Since then, we've really upped the tempo. We've looked to threaten in behind. We've got in a good space in the final third, and it's almost rocked the Croatians a little bit.
Possession in the low 70s for England in these early stages, and it's been good possession as well, not keeping the ball for keeping the ball's sake. Here's Trippier chipping it in. Kane trying to flick it on behind him, and a good mopping up from Perisic, who comes back inside his own penalty area from the left wing. Lays it back for Vida. Vida out towards the right back for Saliko. He just gets it forward, hoping that Rebic can make something of it for him. He did, actually. He headed a ball through the midfield to make it another fight ball, which Modric could get on the end of. And Basalico, the dainty little chip, will flick it down the touchline. He finds Kramaric. Little nutmeg there, with Modric ending up in possession. Now back for Marcelo Brozovic again. Brozovic, such an experienced customer in the heart of the midfield, winning his 60th cap for his country. The Inter Milan player. Lays it back to Chaladasar. From him to Domagoj Vida. He scored in the World Cup quarter-final 3 years ago against Russia. Forward from the back. Brozovic. Out towards the very impressive left-sided defender Gvardiol. So such a bright future ahead of him. Just 19, but he's just been signed in a €16 million deal by Leipzig. Here's Kieran Trippier, much the more experienced of the 2 men playing left back today. From him to Mings to Stones. Back for Mings again. Mings controlling it inside his own half, then sending it forward. A long left-footed ball, which is easily headed away by Vasalico, but straight to Mason Mount. Just over on the far touchline. And Raheem Sterling has it now. Finding Modric. Perisic with an opportunity to try and take on Kyle Walker. He checks, gets it onto his right foot, still can't deliver. Defending enough, Gvardiol will be able to bring it forward. Modric around the edge of the penalty area, trying to go through. But the whistle has gone. Pickford actually made a decent save after free kick was given. Back for Mings again, inside his opportunity for England just from that. The corridor of shadow, which probably covers about a third of the pitch or so. Back it goes for Stones. Stones under pressure from Rebic. To Mings again. Mings to Trippier. England just passing it along the back line. Now Mings will look long. Sterling trying to take it on the half turn away from to get the ball out of Salico's winning his 50th cap for his country today. 4 minutes gone. Croatia win it back, and Brozovic goes back to Vida.
Midfield shape of Rice, Phillips and Mount. It's Ricey who's sort of being a central figure, and the deeper of the two, allowing Phillips on the right hand side just to flourish a little bit, push on, knock onto people, same with Mount as well. So I think it'll be Ricey who will be asked to get in and around Modric and make sure he doesn't see that a really good start in the game. It's a concentration from the back line. Make sure they field the ball into midfield and up front and get us playing. Definitely from that situation. Don't play down to Croatia. Croatia want to slow the game down and take the sting out of the game. It's important that we play to a tempo and a speed that suits our players. We are a very athletic side.
Takes it into his stride, will check. Left-footed shot across the face of goal. Inside of the
back to his Manchester City teammate.
And Gvardiol is there to clear. His first contribution in a major tournament.
Chips it forward.
Ending up in the goal.
Vida to deal with.
Interplay between Sterling and Foden.
Is in there to regain possession for England in the engine room, and then Mount, ever busy, just flicks it off for Sterling. Down towards Mount again on the left-hand side of the penalty area.
Laying it back for Calvin
just
Phillips.
Stops and checks. Right-footed ball. Just took a deflection on its way in. Phil Foden a little shove under the flight of the ball. Vasalico can then claim. Knocked away, Kane brings it forward, but Vida gets that one clear around the edge of the penalty area, and then Phillips was caught, and it's a free kick to England, about 15 yards outside the penalty area in a central position, right at the very extreme of range for anybody fancying a shot. Not in a too dissimilar a position to that Kieran Trippier put in against Croatia in the World Cup semi-final. Yeah, it's not in a bad area. I would say probably slightly too deep, and as per normal, I hope I've put my foot right in my mouth there and he sinks it in the back of the net. But there's certainly some distance that he's got to generate, whether it be a little chip up to potentially Stones, who's just pulled out to the left.
It is very central, so difficult to get an angle on the ball really for that little clip towards either side of the box. Foden on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Stones will be much the more obvious target on the left. Mount and Trippier are the two players standing over it here for England.
And show the distance. Croatia haven't even got a wall.
It is just clipped in, looking for Kane. Kane with a little flick header. He's claiming that he was pulled down. The offside flag is up, though. And it's going to be a free kick for Croatia inside their 6-yard box. 17 minutes gone. England 0, Croatia 0. We've heard from Stuart Pearce. Sol Campbell, a part of our team as well for the England games here on TalkSport. Sol, great start. Plenty to recommend it.
I think it's definitely a great start. I think we are high. The back line is high. We're confident. Croatia haven't got going. That's because we've been pushing and probing and not giving them a second to kind of settle down. We just got to keep it going and make sure make sure we don't kind of fall asleep. It's always about concentration in international football.
England have the ball over on the far touchline, midway inside their own half. It's going to be a throw which Kyle Walker will take. Croatia. They finished top of their qualifying group above Wales, but they have been beaten 7 times this season, which is hardly vintage form to come into a major tournament. Beaten twice by Portugal, twice by France, by Sweden and Slovenia, and a more excusable friendly defeat to Belgium last week, where they went down 1-0 in their final warm-up game, but the penultimate warm-up game was a 1-1 draw at home to Armenia, which was a very inauspicious result for them. And that was with a strong side, a much stronger side than England put out for their 2 friendly victories on Teesside. Phil Foden's got possession on the England right, darting, twisting, turning, a little pirouette, but they couldn't just con his way through. Good sliding challenge from Calvin Phillips. It wasn't quite how the referee saw it. Thought it was a foul as he won the ball a little bit overzealously on the edge of the box. And it's a free kick that Croatia will take. Played 18 minutes. England hit the post very early on with Phil Foden. but it has been a very bright start. England next in action against Scotland here. Friday night. You knew that already. 8 o'clock, the kickoff time. If you're a Scotland fan and want a commentary with the Scottish angle, that's on TalkSport 2. It's with the English angle here on TalkSport. 8 o'clock with Stuart and Salt and Sags alongside me here. Here's Mason Mount, brings it forward for England around the edge of the penalty area. Slipping in Trippier. Trippier checking back onto his favoured right foot. Couldn't quite find Kane. But it'll be played back by Phillips. Phillips to Declan Rice, linking up the play and exchanging passes with his close childhood friend Mason Mount. Back it goes then from Stones. Stones just given a little shove off the ball from Rebic, who knew exactly what he was doing there, just catching Stones on the top of the back. And Stones back on his feet very quickly, wasn't hurt, but was offended. But England have maintained possession and work it all the way back for Jordan Pickford. Tomorrow, another 3 games coming up for you. Scotland begin their campaign, home to the Czechs. Hampden Park, the venue, 2 o'clock. The kickoff time here on weren't. I think that Gareth will already point to the performance over the first 20 minutes and say that the team selection has been entirely justified, but no way through as yet. Sterling laying it back for Trippier, who had already scored when these two met in the World Cup semi-final by this stage. And you remember that England played Croatia in the Nations League since then. It was Croatia that took the lead that day in England, but came from behind to win by 2-1. England have won 5 of the previous 10 meetings, losing 3, 2 of which came in qualifying for Euro 2008. And it rained that night, as you will remember. Ball play forward by Mings. Headed away by Vasalko, and straight past Kramaric out of play for a throw that will be taken on the England left-hand side. Not that many clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities in 21 minutes, Stuart. Just the 2 for England, but still the possession is good. They're having it in good areas, and there's nobody that really looks below the pace for him.
No, and I looked through the starting 11 and I thought, who's showing good form for their club? And the only one you might
forward up the left-hand touchline. So much more composure and confidence in his performance today than that we saw last week in the games against Austria and Romania. Well, I did think that he might have played his way out of contention for a place in the starting lineup, but Gareth's shown faith in him and he's justified it so far. Mings trying to get the ball away this time, can't quite get a contact on it, and it fell in behind him to Perisic near the edge of the penalty area, but his shot way off target as well, and out of play for a goal kick. 0-0.
It's that type of interaction that we've just seen there. The Croatians going down the right hand side, whipped cross, no one got first contact to clear, and it ended up being a hitch kick, probably just on the edge of the box. And it's just those little interactions that we've seen that have caused us a problem. We saw it in the last two friendlies last week, these wide, no one taking control of cutting the cross out or dealing with the cross, and players just getting a little bit too much space to potentially get a shot away.
England's record on home soil has been absolutely fantastic. They've won 15 of the last 16 home games, with the sole exception being the defeat to Denmark back in October. In that run of 16 games, they've scored an average of 3 a game and only conceded 7 all told. And in fact, it's 24 home wins in 26 if you go back that little bit further. Gareth Southgate only beaten twice on home soil as the England manager. Croatia have possession, but not in an area that's going to hurt England. They're much nearer the edge of their own penalty area than the centre circle. Kovacic just lays it back for Luka Modric. England have done an effective job on stopping Modric playing so far, but he's found some space this time, and he's found Gvardiol making his way forward in space down that left-hand touchline. Back for Modric again. Rice comes forward but can't get close enough to fully engage with Modric. He uses his range of passing again, working wide for Versalico. Now play forward by Modric into Kramaric on the edge of the penalty area. Good control from him. He's back to the direction of play. Back out for Versalico. England have 8 back in the penalty area to defend this, and it's sent in. And one fall back towards the other, but again overhit for Gvardiol and out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Jordan Pickford. 28 gone. And it's 0-0. Stuart Pearce.
Yes, I was pleased to see that crossover hit. The Croatians have loaded all bases up in our box, and it was Gvardiol at the far post who just got away from Foden, but crossed slightly too far for him.
So what do you want to see more of so far, bearing in mind that England have dominated possession in an excellent half hour, but have only had the one shot on target?
Definitely a bit more of this, especially from the goal kicks. Play out, that situation, it's 4 versus 2, you can get out easy. A little bit more confidence. I think, they're allowing Croatia to slowly creep into the game. Look, pass has gone wide. It's concentration, but it's also recognising Croatia, when they're holding the ball, they're slowing the game down, they're picking their passes, they're slowly kind of getting a foothold in the game. We've got to kind of react to that and see and feel what they're trying to do and get hold of the ball as well, especially in the middle of the park, and also playing out. We've got to get that kind of confidence back, because they'll slowly chip away at us.
That's Sol Campbell alongside Stuart Pearce and me, Jim Proudford, here at Wembley. Mark Saggers in the chair, Faker others, our England correspondent Declan McCarthy, our in-stadium producer. Your England team for the European Championships is 0-0 with 29 minutes gone here at Wembley. And the fans just a little bit muted, I think, over the last 10 minutes or so. There's an undercurrent of singing, as you can hear, around the stadium. But no real hugely vociferous support. England will play out from the back again. Stones to Rice, and played forward down the line by Walker. And the last 3 or 4 minutes have been England's worst 3 or 4 minutes of the game, but no harm done. Croatia trying to take a throw very quickly there, but from the wrong place. And the Italian referee was alive to that. Has just asked for it to be retaken. That's allowed England to get their shake back behind the ball.
I think the pattern of the game, Jim, is dictated. When we've dictated to the opposition, we've been comfortable, caused them a problem, and the Croatians have been feeding off scraps relatively within the game, and we've just let them into the game. It's more, not so much what they've done, probably more what we haven't done, and it's opened the door for them to get a little bit of confidence on the ball.
Gvardiol is going to be able to bring it forward again now. Just linking up with Perisic on the Croatian left. Cross that's taken a deflection. Mings did well to come across and sweep it away on the half volley. Brozovic mops up. Lays it back for Kovacic. Kovacic will take it on and get away from Foden. Played forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Kovacic continuing his run, can work it wide. Perisic can control it. He'll try and get down towards the byline. Gets it in. Rebic was waiting for it, but Declan Rice, so alert, came back and cut out the cross, and it was vital for England that he did so. And Croatia will have to backpedal and not it with Chaladasar back to his own goalkeeper Livakovic, and now they will build from a deeper position. But this is the first time really that Croatia have had a spell in the game where they will feel that they've been on top. They have it with Veselko. It's past the half-hour mark here on TalkSport. Brozovic coming forward for Croatia, hands outstretched. Not happy with his lack of options, but he was able to travel with the ball without any England player putting any pressure on him. Finds Kramaric, now it's worked out towards Veselko. Sterling does well, comes back, defends, finds Trippier back to Jordan Pickford, who sweeps it away very effectively, left-footed, well over halfway. Vida will race back and nod it back to his goalkeeper. And England struggling to maintain the early stranglehold that they had on the game. They've lost something in the way of tempo and need to try and exert their authority again over the next 10 minutes coming up at half time.
Yeah, games have ebbs and flows when you get the ascendancy and when you don't, and probably that little bit of inexperience within the team. We just need to wrestle that back from the Croatians at this moment in time. But the likes of Modric is clever. He's an intelligent player. He knows how to get on the ball, how to create space, and how to dictate the tempo of games.
Here's Mings inside the centre circle. It's 0-0 here at Wembley between England and Croatia. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business. Sterling laying it back for Kieran Trippier, now to Tyrone Mings. 33 gone. Mings back for Stones. England defended with a encouraging high line in the early stages, less so recently. Play forward now, what a take by Foden, and that got the crowd on their feet. Beautiful touch with the top of his left boot, but as he then just tried to play a little 1-2 over on the far touchline with Walker, it didn't come off, and it just rolls away over the dead ball line and out of play for a goal kick. Great control by Foden, but they just can't quite get him into the game enough at the moment.
No, we can't. Fantastic run though. We've played maybe 3 or 4 balls, just straight long balls. It's not just a careless ball, it's a cultured pass, and Mount's got on the end of one, certainly Foden on that occasion's got on the end, and you have to keep turning them round, which will keep creating the space in front of them. And Cole Walker's just been a bit loose. A couple of his passes just ventured out of play.
Luka Modric inside the centre circle and then very quickly making ground into England territory. Still 0-0. Ball played out towards the figure of Perisic on the left-hand side. Perisic and Vardiol, bearing in mind that they haven't started an international together before, have worked very well in tandem down that far touchline. It was the full-back that was the furthest forward on that occasion. It goes out of play for a goal kick. Jordan Pickford still hasn't had a difficult save to make so far, 34 minutes in, and it is 0-0. England's record at major tournaments, as if you need reminding, has not been great. 4 wins in 15 games since beating Ukraine back in Euro 2012. Victory against Wales in 16, and then against Tunisia, Panama and Sweden in the last World Cup. England off to a winning start in the World Cup 3 years ago by beating Tunisia, and getting off to a winning start has been an exception to the rule. Paraguay and then Tunisia again, the only other teams that England have beaten in the first match of a major tournament since the 1990s. Stones with a commanding header away, which left Rebic on the deck, and he was in a position there. You'll remember the little clash between the pair of them about 10 minutes ago. Stones knew he had a free shot there. He could come and sack the ball, knew he was going to give Rebic a little bit of a bang on the way through, and took his opportunity. Still 0-0, 10 to go to half-time. Rice working it forward. Phillips back for Stones. Rebic trying to second guess where the ball was going next. Had actually got it right, but Stones could still get it back for Pickford. And now Tyrone Mings has it on the edge of his own penalty area.
Yeah, I think in the build-up, Jim, we've just got to be a little bit quicker, you know. I think a slow build-up and not playing that forward pass to get a player turned on the ball suits the Croatians at the tempo they want to play.
Mount. Back inside his own half for Declan Rice. Rice, a fundamental part of the England team. He's started 13 of the last 16 games now, winning a 21st international cap today, 3 of them for Ireland at the start of his career. He's Trippier. Finds Sterling. Sterling in his 4th major tournament for England. Good injection of pace. Takes him past Kramaric. In towards Foden, edge of the penalty area. Foden waved back up by the referee, who has let plenty go so far. He's been very consistent, Daniele Orsato. And then the ball is played forward by Perisic. Out of harm's way for Croatia. And one back by Walker. But that was better from England. A little bit more purposeful, and the crowd reacting accordingly. Sterling desperate to get on the ball, drops deep, shows for Declan Rice. Rice obliges with a little side-footed ball forward. Back it goes towards Mings. Now Walker turning it between the 2 centre halves, but safely back to his goalkeeper. And England able to get another 10-15 yards upfield with the defensive line, trying to condense the play in the midfield. Stones wide for Walker. Back it goes again for Jordan Pickford, and we're 8 from half-time at 0-0.
Yeah, my advice to the likes of Sterling, Mount, the front 3 really, behind Harry Kane, every time you get it, try and get turned. Once you get turned, go and take somebody on, because every time we've done that, they can't live with us. We've got too much ability, too much pace, too much endeavour.
And now Kane trying to ride the challenge of Vasalico. Loose ball squirms back for Calvin Phillips. Phillips wide for Walker. Again, there's a tendency to go sideways rather than forwards at times for England. Here's Mason Mount. There's another player that England haven't quite been able to get into the game as much as they would like. Sterling has seen plenty of it, and there was a moment about 30 seconds, 40 seconds ago where he made his way forward, and Vida steps up from the defensive line and follows him, and that is Croatia, a journalist telling me, an area where England might be able to exploit them. Calvin Phillips is offside here, but when you have Vida stepping up from the defensive line, it creates space for people running in. It was Sterling that created that space on that occasion. That's what England need to try and make the most of.
Well, we've done it on a few occasions. I mentioned earlier, probably about 4 or 5 times we've looked to play that ball into those channels from varying distances, and it's an Achilles heel, especially with the pace that we've got from our players of the likes of Foden and Sterling to get into those areas. Once you get in there, you're normally faced with a one-on-one situation.
38 on the clock. It's 0-0. Novakovic, the Croatian goalkeeper, who's been first choice since 2019, taking his time about this free kick, which he sends swirling forward now, and then the flag is up again. It's an offside at the other end. It was Ante Rebic had just come back from an offside position. Still 0-0.
Also, a really important point to make as well. I think certainly with the attacking-minded players in the team, they almost there's no point saving yourself physically for games, not with the modern-day substitution situation. Chances are Gareth's going to make changes in the advanced areas of the pitch. You can almost go out and say, look, blitz it for an hour and then we'll get impact subs coming on.
England working the long ball forward again. Out towards the right-hand touchline. Carl Walker, there's nothing in the middle for him. He tried to win a corner by bending a right-footed cross in, but he missed his man. And it's gone out of play for a goal kick. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Sol Campbell, part of our team here on TalkSport. Sol, what are your thoughts?
Just right, Piercy was saying, that kind of ball, those third-man runs into the space, it is causing Croatia a lot of problems. But it's all about, once we get into that last third and we've made that run, it's the next ball in, it's the cutback. Who's following through? You need someone coming in and edge of the box, cut back, shot. We need to have an end product. We can't kind of get into the box and then we're thinking about what we're going to do with it. We need those runners in there. We need that kind of that magic, that kind of someone making an unselfish run and getting it into the box. We need that. The more we do that, we're gonna cause them problems. But at the moment, the game is slowed down. Possession. It's all about possession. We've got to keep possession more. Like now, I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of discussion going on with the keeper and Mings, and I don't know. There's a little bit of I don't know. They feel a little bit of they're scared or something's going on. There's a bit too much discussion going on for my liking. It should be just let's get on and play and see what we can do.
That means with a long ball over the top of Sterling will run onto it and he'll get there first around the edge of the penalty area and win a free kick. It's right close to the edge of the box, and Harry Kane thought it was inside, and VAR will check. Chalatassar making his way forward. Sterling had flicked it past him, and Chalatassar knew exactly what he was doing in leaving a left arm in there. The ball hit it, and the free kick is for a handball about a yard and a half. Outside the box, and this is a very promising position.
Sol made the point there. The back line have got to take responsibility, and the goalkeeper, of getting on the ball a little bit quicker than they have, looking to feed the ball into midfield quicker than they have. And on that occasion, Mings has played a ball which I think he's almost played a ball because he was getting shut down, not a cultured pass, and it still caused a problem because of Sterling's ability and speed.
Well, this is a really good area. It favours a right-footed shot. Mount and Trippier and Sterling are the three England players in attendance, but Sterling is very much the outsider of the three, and he in fact vacates the scene already. England have lined up a little two-man wall to the right of a five-man Croatian wall. They haven't got the old draft excluder in behind the wall. Oh, they have now, just putting him down. So one line behind a four-man wall. It's Kieran Trippier, who scored from this kind of area against Croatia in the past, tries to do so again. The wall jumped, blocked it, goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, hit it with good pace, but Perisic, I think it was, managed to get his head to it. It's a good, solid wall from the Croatians.
And that as England work the throw quickly, Trippier in towards Raheem Sterling. The referee has found against him. It's a free kick to Croatia. That was much better, the move that got England into that kind of position in the first place. And Sterling, when he can attack that back line with intent and pace, can cause problems. Chalatassar, incidentally, on a yellow card now because of the handball, and so the better of the two centre halves is working the tightrope, and Vida, we know, doesn't have that much pace at this stage of his career anyway, so that's worked England's way. 2 minutes ago to half time, it's still 0-0.
It's nothing short of just channel balls over their back line for decent runs, and that is what causes them problems.
Rice laying it back in for Stones, so back to his goalkeeper Pickford, who's shanked it away, but to safety, it's okay. Mount's control was a little bit awkward. He's given Modric an unceremonious shove off the ball. It's gone out of play for a throw, which is going to be taken on the Croatian right-hand side.
Between the back line and the goalkeeper, they're almost flustering each other in many ways. They just need to settle down a little bit, do things a little bit quicker, but don't be panicking about being pressurised. I don't think the Croatians are pressurising them particularly well.
Kovacic trying to rectify that, brings it forward. Stone steps up from the defensive line. Loose ball will be chased by Walker, but Vardiol's going to be there first. He lays it back for Perisic towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's back in for him again. Mings stands firm, knocks it away. He was fouled, and it's a free kick to England. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Trade Point With a lineup of over 40,000 products in stores nationwide and online. Get all you need when you need it at TradePoint.
Yeah, really good interchange there on the edge of the box. Croatia playing into our penalty area, but Mings come out, had to make it a very clean tackle. He did that and got fouled in the process. But our fortunes in this tournament are going to hinge not on what we do going forward, but what we do defensively. And I've seen nothing in this first half to change my mind in that respect. We've been okay, we've been pretty solid.
Kane trying to nod it on here for Foden, who's come closer than anybody for England. Croatia knock it away. The 45 minutes are up and no need for any added time. Almost the perfect start. Phil Foden's first contribution of the game to hit the inside of the post with a shot. That's as close as either side have come. And England have seen the game ebb and flow. They've had some good stages, they've had some not so good, but they're playing with a confidence and a good tempo. It's been a solid start to the tournament. No breakthrough though. England 0, Croatia 0 at half-time.
Jim Bradford, Sol Campbell and Stuart Pearce with all the commentary you need to know here on that first 45 minutes, a frustrating 45 minutes in some ways for England. Adrian Durham and Dean Ashton will be taking your calls next. 08 717 223344 when we've finished. Of course, we've got plenty more time to go. We've got a second half and then all the reaction that you need to know with all of this. And of course, Scotland against the Czech Republic tomorrow, and then England against Scotland on Friday. 5 o'clock, Austria against North Macedonia on TalkSport 2, and 8 o'clock tonight, Netherlands against Ukraine in Amsterdam, and full commentary across the network on TalkSport. Time that we took a look at the first half action, brought to you by TradePoint, official sponsor of TalkSport's coverage of UEFA Euro 2020.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks. Reverse VAT, invoice management, CIS, sorted. Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business.
Where are we going with this one then, Sol, at the moment? What does Gareth Southgate do, change, say? Nothing too much.
I think for me it's bizarre what was going on in the box, playing out. I don't get it. It was 4 against 2, and Stones, Pickford, Mings, they're having a discussion of, I don't know what's going on. For me, you get 4 against 2, play out. Or do you think maybe Croatia's trying to set traps, you play out and we're going to come and get you? I don't know. There's enough space to kind of play out, even if they're set traps. There's enough kind of time and space to get out. So I don't know what's going on. I think for me, they've got to get on the ball and create 2-on-1 scenarios around the pitch to kind of, step in, not just always in the same position. So I think the centre half's got to do a little bit more. I think Declan and Phillips got to do a little bit more with a little bit of rotation to kind of be freer and keep on making those third man runs.
Yeah. I mean, we know that Jordan Pickford can get a bit excitable at times, but the communication has just got to be sorted with Tyrone Mings there. Mings, for me, has had a good first half.
Yeah, I think he has, yeah.
I think he's had a really good first half, particularly after what we saw in those two games. But I think, really, as you were saying earlier on, just keep that simple, but play yourself out of that trouble and then launch for your men up front. Yeah,
and I think it happened a couple of times, by default. But I think for me, it's all about recognising where you can get out and utilising it, playing it simple. If the Croatians give you that space and you think they're setting traps, you still got enough confidence about you to receive the ball and get out. And then the more you do that, they might come on to you, and then you can play it long. So you have to think with your mind and think with your kind of football abilities. Say, right, okay, you give them that space, I'm going to play. You don't give them space, I'm going to play long. That's how you work out. A little bit of chess going on there.
Yeah, Stuart as well. Harry Kane, has been making runs, selfless runs, but we haven't got him into the game perhaps quite enough yet.
No, quite often Harry's game isn't all about having a lot of touches within the game. He is waiting for that one chance, or potentially in the box. But Sol mentioned it earlier in the first half, we've not been able to, once we've got into these channel areas and got good possession of the ball, we've not been able to find a little pass or a decent cross. I can't really remember a cross in this first half, which obviously Harry Kane thrives on. But when you get games like this that are on a knife edge in many ways, I want to make sure that we can see this game out with a clean sheet. If we can't score, see it out with a clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. I mean, it was a bright start if we go right back to the very start. We had our opportunities inside of the post denied, and then really they let Modric and co come into it, didn't they, by slowing it down ourselves?
Yeah, they allowed Modric and co to kind of start dictating the game. You know, getting in that pocket, holding on the ball for far too long, and then slowing it down. And if you're not approaching them, they'll hold it and they pick their pass. And you think even if they've got possession in their third or middle of the park, and you think you're not kind of in danger, the more they hold it, the more they switch it, you still got to move. Yeah. It's hot out there. You've got to keep on moving because you've got to adjust the position. So you think, they're not hurting us, but they're switching it side to side and they're waiting for opportunity, and at the same time they're trying to tire you out.
There's no doubt that Sterling, when he goes at them, they're frightened to death.
It's at the pace. But also he's intelligent runs as well.
Yeah.
And when he gets in the box, he's got an eye for goal. So they've seen him. They know he's got that in the locker. I think the whole team's got to, once they get into those positions, it's the end product.
Calm down. Just keep your cool. Keep thinking about this.
The game at this level is all about defining moments. It's keeping a cool head. It's understanding the state of the game, and make sure you don't lose your concentration for a moment. And when the opportunity comes, to take it. And it'll be Gareth, as the game goes on, the longer it stays potentially 0-0, where does the impact come? And I look at our bench, and you look at the likes of Rashford, Grealish, maybe Saka, Bellingham. We've got some players that come on that you're expecting to take it up to another level.
I think that exactly, don't you? I mean, that's the other good thing to look at this, that the bench is a good bench.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got Grealish coming on, he can open things up. That's a fantastic player to come on and frighten their defence. But it's all about, maybe the last 20 minutes, utilising the bench, utilising it.
Sol Campbell and Stuart Pearce with their look back at the first half, brought to you by Intuit QuickBooks, official sponsor of TalkSport's coverage of UEFA Euros 2020.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks. Reverse VAT, invoice management, CIS, sorted. Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business.
Well, Foden denied by the inside of the post, but who is going to make the first move come the second half? Back with us live next on TalkSport.
Euro Game Day live on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks. Reverse VAT, invoice management, CIS, sorted. Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business.
Show dandruff a red card with the on-target action of T-Gel. Steps up and scores! Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo is the only scalp treatment with Nutar, a unique coal tar formulation with a triple effect proven to fight flakes, soothe itching and calm redness. It's a hat-trick! Get your head in the game with T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. Contains Nutar solubilized coal tar extract for the treatment of seborrheic dermatitis of the scalp psoriasis and dandruff. Always read the label.
Betfred this Euros. It's time for the Tartan Army, Welsh Dragons and proud English Lions. Sign up online using promo code Euro40 and get £40 in free bets when you stake £10. Betfred this Euros, online or on mobile. New UK customers, promo code Euro40. Available between 30th of May and July the 11th, 2021. Deposit and place first bet of £10 on football, evens plus in one bet transaction. £40 in free bets credited within 10 hours of bet settlement and 7-day expiry. Full terms at betfred.com/promotions. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
He's found space in the car park, shimmied his way into Howdens, and now he's got to score. Clive?
Howdens are looking forward to a summer of football and fun.
And he takes home the match ball for free.
Get a free Howdens football when you open a new Howdens trade account.
What a way to open your account.
At all 750 Howdens depots nationwide.
Get in there.
T's and C's apply while stocks last.
Howdens!
Who's he trying to be? Me? I don't sound like that, do I?
Get ready for the big game with Asda. Mix and match our amazing barbecue range and get 2 packs for just £4. There's something for everyone, from scrumptious sausages and tasty pork to succulent fish and delicious plant-based options. Now that's a win. That's Asda price. Selected Asda stores online, subject to availability, £2.20 to £3 each.
Your Just Eat order is outside. The neighbors' curtains twitch. They are jealous, for they're hungry. But what is this? Your chicken wings have arrived with a side of 2 tickets to UEFA Euro 2020. Magnifique! Your neighbors now hate you. But what do you care? You have 2 tickets and a little pot of hot sauce. Order from Just Eat for your chance to win UEFA Euro 2020 tickets.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Excludes Northern Ireland. Terms and conditions apply. Ends 20th of June. Minimum spend £5. See justeat.co.uk for full details.
Philip Schofield here. Thinking of part exchanging your car? Hold your horses. Why not keep it simple instead? Buying without part exchanging could get you a bigger discount on your next car. No funny horseplay. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Want to take your business online? Get started by securing your ideal web address from 123reg. Choose from a range of affordable domain names starting from just 99p, including .co.uk, or something more unique like .team. With no hidden fees and over 400 types of domains available, start growing your business by visiting 123-reg.co.uk today. Terms and conditions apply. Pricing excludes VAT at 20%.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with TradePoint. Keep your jobs running smoothly. Order online and collect in store within an hour. Find us at B&Q or online at tradepoint.co.uk. Selected products, restrictions apply.
TalkSport. Official radio broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2020.
Which will it be this time? Gareth has his 2020 vision, but can it come to fruition in 2021? It's Sterling able to bring the ball forward and find Foden, takes it into his stride, will check, left-footed shot across the face of goal, hits the inside of the post. And Vardiol is there to clear. His first contribution in a major tournament, so nearly ending up in a goal. It's deeper towards John Stones, who's just beaten. It's a volley, right-footed volley from the edge of the penalty area, well hit by Calvin Phillips. And it was a decent save from Livakovic, who got down to his right-hand side.
Definitely a great start. I think we are high, the back line is high, we're confident. Croatia haven't got going. That's because we've been pushing and probing and not giving them a second to kind of settle down.
It's Kieran Trippier, who scored from this kind of area against Croatia in the past, tries to do so again. The wall jumped, blocked it, goes out of play for a throw. They've had some good stages, they've had some not so good, but they're playing with a confidence and a good tempo. It's been a solid start to the tournament. No breakthrough though. England 0, Croatia 0 at half-time.
This is Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business. So Campbell, let's just look at. I mean, it is hot.
Yes,
it's definitely hot out there. You can see they're all taking in water. They're all breathing it. Yes, of course they're fit and everything. And Stuart, you were making a good point there that it is a squad game now, and there are players that, you know, whether they come on straight away or possibly wait a little bit longer here, those impact players are going to make a difference throughout the tournament. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's hot today, but you know, we're in a fantastic position that we can bring on the amount of subs we can bring on now. So it's great. I think Gareth just has to, you know, utilise the bench to the fullest, really, and go for it. I think we'd love to get a win today, and you know, someone like Cavallou, you know, might add a little bit of aerial battle, you know, a bit more direct. You never know. It's worked for Wales yesterday. So and then, you know, people like Grealish coming on and holding the ball and committing 2 players, getting inside the box. You never know, your little trip penalty or whatever. It's all about hook by crook, and be savvy about it and be clever around the box and get that win and get that goal and then settle down. I think we need a goal to settle us down, because it's a little bit kind of not I'm saying a hot potato, but we need that goal to settle us down and move on and grow in confidence.
Yeah, and you can see that exactly with the way you pointed that out at the back towards the end of that first half there, the frustration that now and again they were perhaps going a little bit off game plan at times.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, when you look at it, there was 4 versus 2. Whether the Croatians are trying to double bluff them, like, and say, well, play short, and then we're going to see if we can nick it in the last third, and or they're not double bluffing because Croatia probably can't push up and then if the ball goes over, get back again. I think you've got to test them and say, right, we're going to play out, and have that confidence. And I think if they play out with confidence, they'll be sitting back all day long, because they'll see you're confident, you're playing out, you know what you're doing, tight areas, and they'll drop off. And then you'll get possession, and then they'll be running around, and they'll get tired, and then you'll pick them off in the last 20 minutes.
Well, the officials are out. We're just waiting for the two sides now to make their way from the dressing room on the far side. A very different view for us here today. We're usually on that far side, the Royal Box side. But we've got a splendid view, and it's all very different, as it always is for UEFA tournaments. For Croatia, with a little bit of a spring in their step, will feel that if they create one or two further chances now, that they can forget about that first half, certainly the start. But I expect, Sol, that England might want to come out of the traps again here.
Yeah, they usually do. You know, we had a nice sort of 15 minutes rest. It's all about come out of the traps, be confident, and cause them problems, cause 2-on-1 scenarios all over the pitch, make them work. You know, don't let them kind of drag you down and say play at our pace. We don't play at your pace. We all play the English pace. And you know, when we've got opportunity, go for it and see what we can do, and really run them ragged on the pitch.
It's never easy watching England in tournament football, is it? Plenty to come from Sol, from Stuart Pearce, is your match commentator, Jim Proud.
Well, the one thing I will say, and you're absolutely right, Sags, I've sat next to you a lot of these games. It isn't easy watching England at major tournaments. I've certainly seen England start tournaments much worse than they've started this one. It's going to be Croatia who'll get this second half underway in their all-black kit. They're kicking from right to left, defending what used to be the tunnel end of the old stadium. England in all-white. And it's 0-0. Chaladishar in the book. Shots on target at a premium, only the one between the two sides so far. Phil Foden hitting the post early on, closer than anybody to breaking the deadlock. Back underway, and an early touch at the start of this second half of the goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic, who clears it down towards the left-hand side for Perisic. Perisic trying to take on John Stones. Just nudged it past him. Stones doing well. Came back, found Mings. Mings back inside his own penalty area. Cleared it. It hit Perisic. Looped up on target. Pickford alert. And there was enough loop on it that he had time to think about it, and he took a couple of hasty steps back and made a catch. But slightly nervy start to the second half. Perisic just trying to take on John Stones for pace. We didn't see that at all in the first period.
No, we didn't. As I say, John Stones dealt with him pretty well, rolled it back into Mings, and Mings cannoned his clearance straight into the Croatian player, who looped the ball, just looped, and Pickford dealt with it. I just want to sort of... I spoke with Gareth a couple of days after, I think it was our internationals in March, and they were talking, there was a clamour about making a substitution to get a goal at the time. I can't remember which game it was. And we sort of spoke with each other, and he talked about it wasn't a case of bringing someone on, it was a case of which one of them do I take off, because they're all doing quite well. And that's a fair point that he made there, and I think it's worth sort of just mentioning now. Sometimes we've got great options from the bench. If someone said to me now, which one of the front four do I take off, I need a goal, it will be a difficult judgment call, I think.
Chaladishar finding Perisic on the Croatian left-hand side, but the offside flag is up. And it's a free kick which will be taken by England, who have Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Mings and Trippier the back four. Rice anchoring the midfield with Phillips and Mount either side of him. Foden and Sterling wide of Harry Kane up top. Croatia, Livakovic in goal. Saliko, Vida, Chaladishar, and the teenager who's making his first start for his country, Gvardiol. Brozovic anchors that midfield for them. Kramaric on the right, Modric and Kovacic, Perisic on the left, and Ante Rebic leads the line. Mings put under pressure by Rebic, lays it back for his goalkeeper Pickford. England determined to play out from the back, and John Stones can do that now, just easing it forward. Kane comes to meet it. Gvardiol, who's shown a maturity beyond his years and experience, was in there, and then a very poor challenge, which is rewarded with a yellow card. Kovacic on Foden, and it's a free kick to England, just on the edge of the centre circle. Mason Mount, I beg your pardon, the player that was caught there, just took the ball, and Kovacic slid in from a long way out, and got a little bit of the ball, but was clearly out of control. And a yellow card for Mateo Kovacic for a foul on his club teammate.
Yeah, I would probably deny the fact he was out of control there. What he's done was keep his feet in. He's not extended to make the challenge, because I think if he did, he could have been in red card world. But he done quite well in some respects. Kept his feet tucked in. Probably deserved a yellow card, but certainly not a red.
Mansoke, he's back on his feet. That's a free kick which will be taken by Declan Rice. Back for Mings. And Mings can work it forward down the England left-hand side for Sterling. Sterling trying to take the game to the Croatian back line. Salico getting his angles right. Trippier making his way forward from left back, which we only saw sporadically in the first half. Croatia will try and utilise that space though as they work it forward. Mings slides in, does enough to deviate the ball away from the path of Rebic, and then Stones will come across to play it down by the corner flag, but has given possession away. It's a throw to Croatia, right down by that corner flag. They're just waiting for Trippier to push forward and then hit the space in behind him.
Yeah, in the second half we've had a couple of balls just into the channel area. It's extended both Stones and Mings. Managed to just clear things up reasonably comfortably.
Throw on the Croatian right, little back heel flick from Luka Modric. Ball works inside the box, is volleyed away by Tyrone Mings. Kane chasing after it, trying to make something happen. Vida able to guide it back for Chalatassar. Kane then chases the back pass to Livakovic, knowing he was very much second favourite. And then Livakovic to Trippier with a back header. He just didn't see Rebic. Pickford's come out, swept up and got it away. That was Kieran Trippier just assuming that there was no one there. And he turned the back header back to his goalkeeper. Ante Rebic's eyes lit up for a moment. Pickford very sharp, good anticipation off his line. Trippier extends a hand of apology, no harm done, but it was a close run thing.
Yeah, as I say, Rebic was alert to it, made a really good darting run to try and get on the end of it, and fortunately for England, Pickford got there slightly ahead of him. Otherwise, I think the way he committed himself, we'd have had a problem.
It's 0-0. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business. John Stones finding Tyrone Mings. Mings will work it out towards Kieran Trippier. Trippier short of 30 caps for his country now. Plenty of experience. He's played at left back in 6 of his last 10 internationals for England now, despite the fact that he is a right back by trade. Rice down for Stones. Stones, whose cap count is in the 40s, able to bring it forward and find Harry Kane. Kane dropping off, looking for Foden, cut out by Perisic. Brozovic mopping up in the midfield, back for Chalatassar. Vida poking it forward. A little bit awkward in the midfield for Croatia, trying to extend and keep the move alive, and eventually Modric is fouled. Just got caught in the centre circle, and it's a free kick which will be taken very quickly. He's back on his feet, and the veteran Croatian captain will bring it forward. It's 0-0 on TalkSport.
A feature of Harry Kane's game, certainly over the last season or two, has been dropping deep and tying things together. And I'm not sure today whether he's been asked to stay further up the pitch or not, but he probably needs to start doing that a bit more regularly, dropping in, knitting play together, just to break the momentum of the game up a little bit.
Vasalico to Modric. Brozovic has it now, just brings it back onto his left foot and swerves it wide out to Gvardiol. He's forced back under the close, watchful attention of Kyle Walker. Croatia work it out wide towards the right-hand side, trying to stretch the play. Vasalico losing out now to Kieran Trippier, and as soon as Trippier got it, Sterling was making his way forward, probably needed the ball to be played instantly. Vida battling with him, holding him up. Trippier's done well. Finds Kane. Kane now to Foden. Crowd get to their feet. Foden inside the penalty area. 2 black shirts immediately converge on him. Calvin Phillips making the run inside the box. Foden with a little 1-2 with Walker. And it's worked back for Stones again. A few murmurs of discontent from the England support, but England have worked it back from the edge of the penalty area all the way back to the halfway line. Just dropping deep and a bit to come again. Sterling to Trippier, works in towards Kane. Kane round the edge of the area, little reverse ball in. Didn't find Sterling, and it was easily cleared. Modric now, foul by Calvin Phillips. I think the referee referee just thought for a moment maybe of producing a yellow card for that. He kind of raised the right hand towards his pocket, but didn't. And it's a good free kick to give away with the opportunity for Modric to get past Phillips and into the midfield. Still 0-0, 8 minutes into the second half on TalkSport.
Yeah, I think Croatia will probably be slightly happier with their start to the second half. They've penned England back a little bit and pretty confident on the ball. As I say with Kane, I think it's important that him, on that occasion there, he's dropped back and he was part of the build-up scenario. In the main, I like to see Harry Kane just staying up top, but for the sake of this game, I think he might need to just drop off a little bit and maybe let the likes of Mount and Phillips to run beyond him, just to break the back line of the Croatians up a touch.
Çalhanoğlu looks at square for the ponytail Domagoj Vida, who plays his club football in Turkey these days for Beşiktaş. Now worked for by Vasaliko. 15 yards inside the England half. Chip down towards Perisic. Perisic with Gvardiol, the full-back outside him. Clever little backheel flick back for Gvardiol. Now towards the edge of the box, it's Kramaric in a central position. Man who broke the deadlock the last time the two sides met here. Lays it off for Modric, who sends one in with power from 30 yards, but it's easily claimed by Jordan Pickford. England fans a little bit frustrated because the quick release seemed to be on for a moment. Pickford, always a goalkeeper who's alive to that, but he didn't play it. Phillips just put Rice under a little bit of pressure with a hasty pass that was just a wee bit panic-stricken. But England can just calm things down, and Walker will play forward towards Phil Foden.
It's interesting, Jim. Sometimes the crowd reaction as a player almost should tell you what to do. They're telling the goalkeeper when he catches it, you can hear him, come on, get us going a little bit quicker. And it's good coaching in many ways, you know, but it comes from the terraces.
10 minutes into the second half, those are the thoughts of Stuart Pearce. Sol Campbell with us. Sol, no real discernible change to the passage of play at the start of the second period.
No. I think there's a little bit of nervousness creeping in. I think we're going to kind of, get back on the ball a little bit more, get some passes together, move the ball quicker, create 2-on-1 scenarios all over the pitch. Step in, like here now, Tyrone, step in and cause Modric a little problem. We can just always pass in front of players, but top players that go side to side, you've got to create a scenario. You've got to keep them under pressure, keep them thinking, keep top players thinking. If they don't have to think, it's going to be easy game for them just to mark you or track your run here and there. So we've got to step it up.
Kane lays it back for Phillips, quickly to Mings and out towards Trippier again. Now Raheem Sterling back for Kieran Trippier. All of these passes are brisk enough, over 10-15 yards apiece, but England not making any headway. Now Calvin Phillips will try and make a run to split the lines, and he's done well. He receives the ball and he turns inside, he slips it in. It's Sterling! And England are off and running. Calvin Phillips has made it. Raheem Sterling puts it away. His first goal at a major tournament for England. And if he was a man who had a question mark over his place in the starting lineup, well, he has just answered his potential critics. An excellent England move. Sterling with the sharpness. Phillips breaking the lines. England with the lead.
Two offensive passes through the lines. First one to Phillips, he let it run and went beyond the midfield. Second one, a forward pass straight at the heart of their back line. And when Sterling ran in behind, there was no doubt he was going to finish. Really good run by Sterling, acres of space. And they're under big pressure. When they get asked questions physically, the quickness of our front line causes them a big problem. Fantastic goal.
Well, Raheem Sterling played in 3 tournaments for England before this one. Hadn't scored a goal in any of them. Over 12 appearances at a major tournament, but now finds the net. But Calvin Phillips, take a bow. That was a magnificent contribution from him.
Yeah, it was. The good thing is we were patient at the back, but we waited for the time to play that pass. It was a 30-yard ball straight through their lines, and it was a wonderful run by Phillips that created all the problems and all the panic in the back line of Croatia.
But England have had the lead against Croatia before. The bottom line is just got to be able to hold on to it. But Sol Campbell Calvin Phillips doing exactly really what you were advocating should be done only a couple of minutes previously. Ball's out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Croatian right-hand side. Played for a high ball, which Mings will chase and get there. John Stones just lets it run across his body. He's got to get the first touch he has. Back for Pickford. Pickford calmly getting it out towards Walker. Walker drives on now. England 1, Croatia 0. Phillips to Foden. Foden to Harry Kane on the edge of the centre circle. Back for Phil Foden again. Now to Rice. And here's the goal scorer, Sterling. 13 in his last 17 games for England now. He had a fantastic qualification campaign where he scored 8 in 7. And he scored England's first goal at the tournament as well. And with the format of the tournament, only 8 teams get eliminated in the group stage. If you win any game, then you're through. Just about. Here's John Stones. Phillips works out towards the left-hand side here for Kieran Trippier. 59 minutes gone. Back for Declan Rice. Rice inside the centre circle. Work forward again for Phillips. Phillips down for Carl Walker. Kane just making a jogging run, trying to draw Chanatassar out of position. And Kane now isolating himself against Guardiola, the left back. England work it back through the midfield the other way. Good patience now, and you can hear the intensity of the support. The volume is there, lifted. The England fans lifted by that moment of genuine quality that we've seen in the game. Back it goes for Rice. 59 minutes gone. Stones down for Calvin Phillips. Stones just working it into the feet of Harry Kane. Looks as though he was fouled. Referee allows play to go on because England have still got possession. Walker waited for Kane to get back to his feet, then plays it into his captain. Kane with a good turn. Brozovic comes forward, and it was one nibble at the ankles too many. It's an England free kick, be in no hurry to take it. Sol Campbell, your thoughts on that England goal? Now played forward again towards the edge of the penalty area by England. Sterling laying it off for Rice. Back for Calvin Phillips again. Phillips inside the centre circle. Now John Stones has got it. It's all inside Croatia territory. Foden again, splitting the line. Sterling working it wide. It's Mason Mount left-hand side of the area. It's Kane! Oh, he's missed it. Sliding in far post, and he's hurt himself as well, potentially. Colliding with the post, and Livakovic, the Croatian goalkeeper, is very concerned. There's a ball across the 6-yard box. Kane was right by the post as he slid in. Couldn't get the contact he needed to double England's lead, but his momentum has taken him straight into the post. It might be his left shoulder that has borne the brunt of that, or potentially even the side of his head. That was a nasty one.
Yeah, I think it's his left shoulder. He's just gone past the goalkeeper, shoulder stroke ribs. But I've got to say, wonderful ball in, and for all intents and purposes, you felt as though Harry Kane was going to score there. He doesn't often miss, and he's just stretching too much and got over the top of it. But once again, good play by England. Took the chance, played forward passes, got turned, and eventually got the effort at the far post.
He's still down receiving treatment away to our right-hand side. So what are your thoughts on what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 minutes? That Harry Kane incident, but also the goal that preceded it.
Well, what a change, really, for me. It's amazing what a goal does to the team. And, just pushing and probing and getting into, breaking those lines and getting in those good positions. A great ball behind, and Sterling sticks it away. That's what you want, and the confidence is obviously coming back. And the shame about Kane couldn't put it in just a minute ago, but the confidence is flowing now, and that will do the world of good for the teams, especially the young players, to settle them down as well.
Well, the first roar you heard was Harry Kane getting back to his feet, and the second as he almost sprinted down towards the corner flag to get behind the touchline so that he could come back on. He's been waved on. He's okay. And England are as well at the moment, leading by a goal to nil, with Raheem Sterling breaking the deadlock after an excellent Calvin Phillips run and pass. 12 minutes into this second half on TalkSport. Sterling's 15th goal for his country. Every single one of them has come in a competitive international.
I think, Jim, it's important that we understand how to play now we've taken the lead. Don't just slow it down for slow it down's sake. Hopefully Croatia will come on to us a little bit and create space, but we've still got to push forward and almost take a leaf out of the Italians' book from the other night. They've scored one, they've scored two, and still they kept coming forward, and it was almost the best means of defence.
Well, that was a naughty one from Foden, who just made contact with the back of Guardiola's heel. Gets a yellow card, this Foden. The referee played the advantage to start with because Croatia still had the ball, but Guardiola writhing around in pain, and so he stopped it so he could see if any treatment is necessary. But Foden in the book, actually just caught him on the top of the foot rather than the Achilles. So Foden booked. England leading by a goal to nil. We've played 63 minutes on TalkSport.
It's that strange modern day phenomenon in football, isn't it? You get booked not so much for what you've done, but for the reaction of your opponent, and I think that's what Foden got booked for there.
Here's Sterling. Sterling with a little drop of the shoulder, and he got away from Brozovic and then ran into Veselko. The referee said it was nothing more than a genuine coming together between the two players. Actually, Sterling back on his feet didn't really complain about it, but a few of the others did. Chalatasar has it for Croatia. England leading, courtesy of that Raheem Sterling goal. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with TradePoint. A lineup of over 40,000 products in stores nationwide and online. Get all you need when you need it at TradePoint. England needed the lead, and they've got it. Modric worked wide out towards the right-hand side. Veseliko's ball in. It's Kovacic through a crowd of players, knocked away. Another shot through a crowd of players from Rebic is dragged wide. And that was a half chance.
Yeah, it was pinball in the box there, ball bouncing around, and it was Rebic it come out to eventually on the edge of the box. And our hearts were in our mouth, and he's just pulled it wide. If the score stays 1-0, you know full well between now and the end of the game there'll be one or two nervous moments, and we've got to make sure that we don't add to that. We've got to make sure what we do puts them on the back foot. Best way of doing that, get a second.
That point that you made about the Italians, I think, is very significant because they smelt the blood in the water, didn't they? And they were really going after Turkey in that game. And England might be able to do something similar now because Mount can bring it forward, and Mount is goal side. He just tried to thread it through towards Kane. He was brought down, and it's a free kick to England, 5 yards outside the box. And another yellow card, this time for Marcelo Brozovic. Perhaps the only surprise is that it's taken nearly 3/4 of the game before he's got his first one of the tournament. Brozovic, the third Croatian player to have his name taken. But in fairness, probably a good free kick to give away because Mount was making good progress and he had Kane in space to his right. And Brozovic did everything he could to make sure that Mount couldn't play the pass. Pulled him back, yellow card.
Whenever we've got in situations like that, when there's been a one-on-one player being exposed, the Croatians are being found wanting that. They've not got the energy or the legs. And to be fair, dealing with the likes of Mount, Foden and Sterling, we knew coming into the tournament, they are a handful to defend against.
So Croatia lining up this defensive wall. Livakovic has just crouched down. He's got his left shoulder against his post. He's got 5 in the wall. England have, again, stationed 2 in front of that wall. And it's going to be Mason Mount to take it. Right footed. Oh, it was close. Over the bar, but close. And it just kissed the roof of the net on its way over. And he had Livakovic scrambling across his line. Very grateful just to see that the ball cleared his crossbar. It's a close run thing.
Yeah, I think he had it well covered. He's gone goalkeeper's side, but just didn't get the dip early enough. Got a new though.
He got a new and an R, but not a second goal for England. And midway through this second half, and with TalkSport, those are the thoughts of Stuart Pearce. England leading Croatia by a goal to nil. Next in action against Scotland here, an 8 o'clock kickoff Friday night. And that's live for you on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. If you want a Scottish angle to the commentary, TalkSport 2 is your place to go. And if you're an England fan, then it's here on TalkSport that we'll be talking through the action. Livakovic, goalkeeper, plays out from the back. Good pressing from Mount. He's going to be unrewarded, but it's just played out towards Brozovic, and Mount head after him and closed him down. And now they are just sowing those seeds of doubt in the Croatians as the men in black shirts have possession. And Croatia, I think, are going to be the first to bring the changes. Change is going to be made over on the far touchline, and it's Vlasic who will come on, and Brekalo as well. So Nikola Vlasic, who never really showed Everton fans exactly what he was about, but he's had a very good career since leaving Goodison Park, and Josip Brekalo will be on as well. Croatia in possession.
I think we've got Rashford coming on as well for England, Jim.
Walker able to just play it forward. It goes out to the Croatian left, and an opportunity for the fullback to make his way. Who's that hit last? Walker, yes. It's out of play for a Croatia corner. Let's join TalkSport's England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Faye?
Yeah, I think Gareth Southgate has just been readying Marcus Rashford. There's been giving him his instructions on my left-hand side, and Croatia are readying 2 substitutes as well. It'll be interesting to see who Gareth takes off here, but I'm thinking possibly Foden, but we'll see.
Thank you, Faye. So we'll have all the reaction, speaking of Gareth Southgate and the headline makers at the end of this game, between 4 and 5 here on TalkSport. Will it be an England team celebrating? At the moment, so far so good. 1-0 England. In comes this Croatia corner from Modric towards the edge of the area. Right-footed volley, dragged wide again. Well, they just worked the one back towards the edge of the box. Brozovic ran onto it, but pulled it wide, and that's going to be his last kick, because he's going to be replaced now by the more attack-minded Nikola Vlasic, who scored at home to Sweden and France in the Nations League. And 12 goals for CSKA Moscow this season. So he will come on. And Josip Brekalo, who came on as a right winger against Slovenia, but ordinarily plays as a 10. He's the other man that is going to be coming on here for Croatians. Are England going to make their change at this juncture as well? Looks that way. Kramaric is the man that Brekalo has replaced. And sure enough, it is Phil Foden who hit the inside of the post early on. And he will make way here for Marcus Rashford. So 2 changes for Croatia, 1 for England. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think Rashford will play on the left potentially. Sterling will slide across. No, doesn't look as though they're doing that. Looks as though Rashford's coming to play on the right-hand side.
So Marcus Rashford makes his way on. Big ovation for him. England leading by a goal to 0. Rashford, who's scored in 5 of his last 6 games, including the winner against Romania last time out. 1-0 England lead.
I think if you're a Croatian defender and you're a little bit worried about pace, all of a sudden seeing Rashford coming off the bench on 70 minutes is a major concern for them.
Salico playing it forward, means he's there to knock it away for England. Goes into the feet of Sterling. England just mopping up very neatly and tidily. Working back for Mings. Mings dropping his shoulder, turning inside the box. Gets it away from Rebic. Trippier into the midfield for Rice. Kane drops off. There's a lovely ball. Flick forward, scoop the outside of the right boot's just gone over the far touchline and out of play for a throw. It's one of the best attempts of Mason Mount, but it was an excellent piece of play. Sol Campbell, part of our commentary team as well. The man with so much tournament experience playing for England. Sol, what are your thoughts on that change, Rashford for Foden?
Well, it's a great change, really. I know Foden's run himself into the ground, and you got Rashford coming on, pace, skill, an eye for goal. They're definitely going to, the Croatians are definitely going to be worrying about him getting on the ball in one-on-one scenarios in the last third. So great substitution.
Vlasic just laying the ball off. Brekalo. Play forward towards Vlasic again, wearing 13, the former Everton man, chipped in left-footed. Perisic going up for it inside the penalty area. Brought down well, though, by Walker, who headed it forward, and now Rashford will scamper after it. Coming across Chalatasar, just knocked it away from Marcus Rashford's run. Has come off the bench as many times as he started for England in an international career, which is now 5 years old, Marcus Rashford. Croatia working it towards the edge of the England penalty area again with Kovacic. Kovacic sending it wide. Vlasic to the fullback for Salico. Vlasic has already seen plenty of it since coming on, and Declan Rice is trying to stop the cross coming in. Now it is chipped inside the area. It should be an easy one for Walker, just to shepherd it back to his goalkeeper. I think he knew that Perisic was coming in blind side of him, but he just got his body in the way, and Pickford could come out and claim it after a bounce inside the 6-yard box. And England lead Croatia. 17 minutes to go here on TalkSport.
Yeah, I've got to give Carl Walker a lot of credit there. The ball bounced in the 6-yard box. My heart was in my mouth, but he dealt with it really well. Just shepherded it back to his goalkeeper.
England 17 minutes away from getting off to a winning start in the Euros for the first time ever. Chalad Sarr has attacked the ball, has gone right through the back of Harry Kane. He is already on a yellow card, Chalad Sarr. That in itself not a yellow card offence, but the next one might be in terms of persistent infringement. Kane gets up feeling the small of his back. He's okay. It's going to be an England free kick, which will be taken about 15 yards inside Croatian territory. Sun continues to shine, just a little bit of white wispy cloud in the arch as we look up at it over on the top of the roof on the far touchline of this magnificent stadium. Great atmosphere with the supporters in here today, and the vast majority delighted with what they're seeing. Mings, it's nodded down for Sterling, and he couldn't get underneath it. It was a free attempt. He was only about 11-12 yards out. Maybe had time to take a touch and do something more constructive with it. It's just a straight free kick punted forward. Mings heading it back down, and Sterling had a lot more time than he thought. Went for goal immediately and missed the target by a distance.
Mings set up play there, fantastic, headed it back, and it's probably the Achilles heel of Raheem. Should have done so much better there. It was really poor effort. It's just a wild swing at the ball, skied it like the one he did earlier in the first half.
And now England have got a problem with John Stones, who is down, injured, inside the centre circle. It's just sitting down, an obvious concern. Now with Harry Maguire already out, if England were to lose their other first-choice centre-half, then the potential ramifications would be obvious. He's sitting down, just stretching the toes of both boots towards him.
Yeah, I think it's... Well, I don't know whether it is cramp or not, but when he first went down I thought it was cramp, but I'm not so sure he would have got back to the centre circle and gone down again with cramp. I think it's probably something to touch more than that.
Ben White's been sent out to warm up. White and Mings, not the centre-half partnership, with no disrespect at all, that Gareth Southgate would have been expecting to field at any stage of a match in a major tournament, even probably 6 weeks ago. But Stones is back on his feet, which is good to see, and he's not making his way towards the far touchline. He's making his way towards this near one, which suggests that he is going to be able to continue. That's a very heartening sign as far as England supporters are concerned.
I think it was a blow on his knee by the looks of it, the way they were flexing his knee, but hopefully he'll be okay. But sometimes going off and coming back on the pitch doesn't mean that they can continue.
Just taking a little bit of fluid on board. Phillips put the ball out of play so that Stones could receive the treatment that was necessary, and Croatia restarted with a throw that was taken by Perisic, and Rebic just chips it back out for an England throw. Carl Walker spinning the ball in his right hand a couple of times, just wasting a few seconds. Now hurls a long one down the touchline. Kane sandwiched in between the two of the Croatian defenders. Croatia winning the seconds, and Calvin Phillips is in there again. He really has had an excellent game, not just his contribution for the goal. Vida played forward. Kovacic is working forward over the halfway line, goes into the feet of Vlasic, back for Modric again. Now Kovacic covering a lot of ground, putting it out towards the right hand side for his fullback for Salico. England 1-0 up on TalkSport with only 13 minutes to go. Last time these two met at Wembley, the side that was winning with 13 minutes to go lost. Here's Perisic. Play back towards Gvardiol. Gvardiol back for Kovacic again. Now Luka Modric, who so far England have been able to restrict. Vida plays it for Salico again. England just dropping that a little bit deeper. Got six back inside the penalty area along with the goalkeeper, but as it's worked down the touchline, it has taken a touch of an England man. It's gone out for a throw which will be taken by the Croatians. They'll try and build again towards the edge of the penalty area. Nice turn by Rebic. They've got a man on the overlap. Low ball played in. Well read by Declan Rice. He took a touch with his right foot, smashes it away with his left, and puts it out of play for a throw, and another change will be made on the Croatian bench over on the far touchline. This, their third, and it's a striker who's coming on. Petkovic, who was left out of the starting lineup today. He played against Belgium last week, hasn't scored in his last 6 games since he netted against Portugal back in September. He's made 40-odd appearances in Serie A as a striker and has failed to score yet. But he's on now. Is the Dinamo Zagreb man who's replaced Rebic, a straight swap up front. 1-0 England, 12 minutes to go on TalkSport.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the England bench and I'm not sure. I've got quite a distance away here, but I think it's Bellingham who's just been shouted to go and warm up. I think that is down there. So they've obviously got it in their mind to make things a bit more stable. I think it's important as well. Croatia potentially will pin us back if we don't get the second goal, and the likes of Rashford and certainly Sterling, who does it more naturally, just to drop in and offer that little bit of a barrier in front of their fullback.
11 to go, 1-0 to England. Pickford takes the free kick and he's just sent it right down the left-hand touchline. Sterling going up for it. Height disadvantage against the man marking him, Vasalico, and he drifts over both of their heads and out of play for a throw to Croatia, but midway inside their own half. Just about match management now. There was a long period where, as an England fan, you always felt that 1-0 to England was a dangerous scoreline. I think back to the first game of Euro 2004, where England were a goal up against France for a long time and then conceded twice to Zidane in stoppage time to end up getting beaten by 2-1. Nobody's taking anything for granted yet, but you'd rather be 1-0 up than 1-0 down at this stage. Rashford chipping it forward. Kane watching it over his shoulder, will chase after it, might get there ahead of Vida. He didn't quite. Vida can just get his right foot to it, work it back to his goalkeeper. Livakovic plays out for Modric. Modric out to the right-hand touchline. And we're going to the final 10 minutes with the lead still intact. Vasalico. Croatia have had a little bit more purpose about them since they made the attacking changes. Brekalo is always lively, just coming in off that right-hand touchline, having more of an effect at the moment than Kramaric did. First opportunity for Petkovic, who will make his way forward now into a central position. An opportunity for the Croatians to give him something to attack. Brekalo is out there with Sterling. Sterling trying to prevent the cross. Brekalo ends up on the deck. Sterling ends up with the ball and takes a touch inside his own penalty area. And as he gets it away, he does actually find Croatian territory, but only because Chaladasar saw the ball run underneath his feet, and he had to work his way back inside his own penalty area to rescue possession. Then as it's played for by Kovacic, he's missed his man Perisic by 20 yards, and he goes out of play for a throw. 9 minutes to go, and Jude Bellingham just receives his final instructions from Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, I'm pleased to see this boy getting on. He's one tip by many in and around the game to have an impact at this tournament, but really good, solid performance. We're in game management time now, last 9 minutes of the game plus a bit of added time. Sensibility, opportunity to counter-attack as well.
Harry Kane is the player who's going to come off, and Daniele Ulsado, the referee, is just telling him he's got to leave by the nearest touchline. Kane's taken the captain's armband off and said to the referee, well, I've got to give this to somebody. And the referee said, don't worry about it. Kane gets a big ovation. But it's a moment of history here for Jude Bellingham, who becomes the youngest player ever to play at the Euros, beating the Dutchman Jetro Willems, who was 10 weeks past his 18th birthday. Jude Bellingham just a fortnight short of his 18th birthday. It's a record that might not last for long, because Polish goalkeeper Kasper Kozlowski could beat his record in this tournament. But Jude Bellingham at 17 playing for England in the Euros.
Well, it shows the trust that the manager has in this young man, and the faith that he has in him, that he's prepared to put him on the pitch at this stage of a game. Also as well, I quite enjoyed your little Dutch Steve McLaren type Jetro. Very good.
Ball played over the top. Rashford will chase it, and it goes all the way through to his goalkeeper. Well, I don't know what you're trying to say with that little observation, you cheeky monkey. The ball will be played forward here. It will be played into the path of Kovacic, down towards the left-hand side.
I think it's a really sensible substitution, actually. We've got a threat of Rashford now down the middle, so if they come onto us and cede space, Rashford's pace will get in there, and Mount just filling this right-hand side berth, and we just look a little bit more secure defensively, I think.
So it is pretty much a 4-5-1 now. Mount on the right, Sterling still on the left-hand side, and it's Phillips, Rice and Bellingham, the midfield three. As we look at it, high ball inside Pickford's penalty area is comfortably claimed. An overhit cross from Perisic that still could have caused problems because it was not too far away from curling into that top right-hand corner. Pickford's handling was assured. And England, Sol Campbell, are 7 minutes away.
You can't, this position now, you're just all about concentration, keeping the ball, don't do anything silly. And keep the ball moving and probe as well. You know, if you can nick another one, why not? And calm all our nerves down. But now, no silly mistakes. Keep it easy now.
My memory goes back 25 years. We're in a similar position against the Swiss, and some idiot called Pearce playing at the back give a penalty away, and it ended 1-1. But we got much more intelligent players out there today than we had in those days.
No Turkill managed to spoil your afternoon today, don't worry. 1-0 to England at the moment. You can remember it. How do you think the rest of us feel? Modric. Good challenge coming in on him. The referee decided it was just a little bit too overzealous from Calvin Phillips. It's a free kick to Croatia. Not in a shooting position at all. They're going to make another change before the free kick is taken. It's Kovacic who's come off, and it's going to be replaced by Pasalic over on the far touchline. Mario Pasalic, the German-born player who Atalanta signed from Chelsea, played in all 6 of the Nations League games, and he'll come on. 4th change for Croatia. Modric standing over this free kick. England shuffle away from the edge of the penalty area to keep a high line. Free kick is over towards the right-hand touchline. Modric addresses the ball just to see how far England are prepared to drop. Now he starts his run up again, and he bends it in right-footed in towards Caleta. Referee saw some pushing and shoving going on. How sweet the sound of that whistle. Free kick to England.
Yeah, they've done well there. The England back line kept us as high as they possibly could for as long as they possibly could, and just, I think it was either a foul or probably a slight offside, I would suggest. Certainly Caleta was all over Stones.
Stones did well actually to withstand the physical nature of that battle, and won it anyway. There will be a free kick which will be taken by England's Jordan Pickford, and the clock is ticking down. We're into the 87th minute in a moment. England still lead it, courtesy of that Raheem Sterling goal from half an hour ago. Is it going to be, at the 10th time of asking, a victory in the first game of the Euros for England? Pickford sending the free kick forward, has just flighted it straight out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Croatian right. Salako has the ball in his hands, and he works it forward over the halfway line. Pasalic in the centre circle was the target of the pass, which wasn't forthcoming, and Marcus Rashford then will chase as Croatia have to backpedal quickly. Caleta finding his goalkeeper, Livakovic out to the centre half again, and now out towards the fullback for Salako. And Caleta once more has the ball at his feet. 3.5 minutes to go. At stoppage time there will be a little bit. Harry Kane went down, John Stones has gone down as well. Both able to continue after the respective collisions that they endured. So it might be 4 minutes. Modric, what we've seen of the game so far, as is often the way in Champions League football, sometimes not quite as often and quite as much as you think the added time. So potentially it could be 3. Well, 3 minutes before we find out.
The amount of substitutions we have now.
Could be 8.
Yeah.
Here's Sterling. Back in defensive duty, and he's done it well. Shepherding the ball over the line. And it goes out of play. There's a little chest bump there between Sterling and Kieran Trippier. England know that they're on the verge of getting off to a winning start, but they also know that they haven't achieved anything yet. Pickford spotted the ball down on the edge of the 6-yard box. England just indulging in more match management, as you would expect, as you would want, wasting as much time as they think they can get away with. Pickford slams it forward now. Helped on through the midfield. There's a nasty clash of heads. Domagoj Vida has gone down, and Jude Bellingham is down as well. And the referee indicating very quickly that he wants the medical staff of both countries to come on. Vida is okay. He's sitting up straight away. In fact, he's got back on his feet. Jude Bellingham less so. Bellingham, as Vida could just brace himself for the inevitable collision. Bellingham, with his back to the direction of play, didn't know it was coming. And has come off the worst of the two.
Yeah, really big leap there by Bellingham. And when you jump and you're trying to flick the ball on, you leave yourself very, very open to anything that's coming in behind. And it's just a very genuine clash of heads by both players. I think Calvert-Lewin is being readied on the bench as we speak.
Don Calvert-Lewin, who scored the winner in the Under-20 World Cup final against Venezuela back in 2017. 4 international goals in this is his first season as an England player, and he will also come on for his tournament debut in a moment. We're in the 89th minute. Raheem Sterling, who's got the captain's armband now that Harry Kane has gone off. He's the man whose goal is the difference between the two sides, and he's just in this break of play, going around some of his teammates, just talking through what is necessary from here on in. Bellingham's okay. He's got the protective hand of his manager on his right shoulder at the moment. He's going to be waved back on in a moment. England take a free kick and take it quickly. The idea was right, the execution not quite, because Mount had made a very good early run down towards the right-hand corner flag, but the ball was overhit. And he goes out of play for a goal kick. England not making the change just at the moment. Bellingham is back on, but Calvert-Lewin hasn't come on just yet. 20 seconds plus stoppage time to go. Sure, it will now be at least 4 minutes to be added on. Pasalic has it on the left-hand side of the Croatian midfield. He goes back for his left-back, Vardiol, who's been solid enough at the age of 19 on his full international debut. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Vida out towards Vrsaljko. He will work it back to his goalkeeper again. England happy all the time that the ball is in that half of the field. 4 minutes to be played. Long right-footed ball over the top from Chalatisar. Perisic is going to chase it. Perisic nods it down. Should be Pickford's. And he'll just let the ball roll and roll and roll, but still get there ahead of Pasalic. And England are 3.5 minutes of playing time away from a victory in the first game of Euro 2020.
Yeah, fortunately there for England and Cole Walker, Perisic didn't have any support with him, so when he headed it across goal, it was 3 England defenders and Pickford just mopping the problem up.
England have only had 2 shots on target in 90 minutes. One of them has gone in. In tournament football, sometimes that's all that matters.
I think more importantly, Jim, is the fact that the Croatians, I'm not sure how many they've had won, so that is a more impressive stat, I think, for us.
Ball's out of play for a goal kick, which Livakovic is going to take. Sterling leaves the field, chucks the captain's armband at Marcus Rashford, and here's Dominic Calvert-Lewin wearing 18 and coming on. His international cap count up into double figures, and he'll come on for the last 2.5-3 minutes or so. England just have to stand firm for the next few exchanges. Ball play forward down the Croatian right. Mings letting the ball run across his body. He's been put under pressure. He has been able to get it back to his goalkeeper, though Pickford had to scamper to stop it going out of play for a corner. Launched forward by Pickford. Calvert-Lewin. Such a fantastic outball now for any aerial ball that's sent forward from the England back line. Calvert-Lewin won it, but Croatia won the seconds. Good play from Vardiol. Very neat and tidy in possession. Finding Modric. Modric to his right-hand side for Vida. We're in the 93rd minute. It's 1-0 to England here on TalkSport. Vlasic and Brekalo combining. Sliding challenge comes in to knock it away. That came from Jude Bellingham, who was much appreciated by the England crowd. They thought the ball had gone out of play for a throw. It hadn't. Modric has it, the deepest of all of the Croatian outfield players, sent forward inside the penalty area, and Pickford comes out and catches it. And England are nearly there. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, we've been pretty consistent this second half, and to be fair, once we got our nose in front, I haven't really been threatened too much with Croatia getting back into the game. This will give us a wonderful lift. If we can go over the line here with 3 points, first group game, which England rarely do, will give the squad and the team and the manager a big lift.
England have been eliminated in the group stage 4 times in the last 8 tournaments, but this result will mean that chances of that happening are extremely small, providing they can hold on. Kyle Walker lays it back for his goalkeeper. Pickford's got time to take a touch, and his second one goes off the island, but out of play for a throw just in Croatian territory. And we've got 40 seconds of the minimum 4 minutes still to be played. England crowd wanting to hear the full-time whistle. Vida to Modric, chip forward, Matt lets it run, Calvin Phillips lets it run out, and it's a throw to England inside their own half, and another chance just to run the clock down. England close, so close, finishing line almost within touching distance. What a lift this will give the players, what a lift it will give the England supporters. Walker throwing it forward over the head of Calvert-Lewin. Rashford able to win the seconds. Play back to the goalkeeper, Livakovic takes a touch, comes outside the penalty area. Here's Vida, 4 minutes are up. High ball forward from Vida. Flicked on, but away from Perisic. It will go out of play for a Croatia throw, level the edge of the England penalty area. Perisic waves everybody inside the box, but there'll barely be time to take the throw. Petkovic is in there, the principal aerial target. Chaladasar's in there as well. Long throw inside the box. England with a contact, blazed over the bar from Pasalic, and that should be that. And the referee signals the end of the game. England off to a winning start in the Euros for the first time in their history. At the 10th time of asking, it's a W for the Three Lions. First up, and it all came after Calvin Phillips' excellent contribution, slipping Raheem Sterling in. The one moment of genuine England attacking quality, and it's given them the victory. Defensively, this remodeled defence was sound. Only one Croatian shot on target. Certainly more to come from England as an attacking force. But the bottom line is that the highest ranked opponent England will face in the group stage have been beaten. Raheem Sterling giving England the win. England 1, Croatia 0.
Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearson, Sol Campbell with your commentary here on TalkSport. We're with you for just over another hour. Then it'll be your chance to have your say after having listened to Jose Mourinho and Sol and Stuart and their thoughts on what has been a terrific start for England. 08717 223344 is the number for you to get through to Adrian Durham and Dean Ashton. Still to come later on today, Austria against North Macedonia in Bucharest. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff live on TalkSport 2. And Amsterdam tonight in the Johan Cruyff Arena. 8 o'clock, Netherlands against Ukraine. That's a good game as well tonight, with Dan Windle in the chair for that one. Good performance from England. Saw it out. It's nervy, it's edgy, it always is, but that was a decent enough start, and 3 points in a first game at the Euros for the first ever time. Well done, England. Well, time, just before we go any further, I want both you, Sol, and you, Stuart, to think of a man of the match for England and what have you. But first, an overall thought as the England players actually now, the defence went into a huddle on the full-time whistle on their edge of their own 6-yard box, and now they're making their way, the whole of the squad here, making their way down towards their fans and friends and family, and England fans standing for them, and it's a delight for this young England side. Just tell me how important that really was then to get through that first game. That was important.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of young players in there. To get that win settles them down, settles the management down, settles the crowd down, settles the nation down.
Yeah.
You know, and
you're telling me.
And you can build on that, and that's key.
Look at that, behind the goal away to our right, the England fans, those that have travelled all over the world with this England side, are absolutely delighted with that now, and off they go, and back here again at Wembley against Scotland, which will be a very different type of game. What's that? What's the song he's playing now, Stuart?
I don't know. I think it's a number one that myself and Sol had in the past, some years ago.
I'll tell you what the song is.
I'll tell you what.
The song's premature. That's what the song is.
I know it is, but Sol, you're still getting royalties because Stuart is.
No, I'm not. They missed mine out. I didn't read the contract.
No, they sent Sols to me. I forgot to forward it on. I'm glad you remind me.
I'll tell you what, boys. Let's take a look now at who we thought is our man of the match on TalkSport, brought to you by TradePoint.
Man of the match on TalkSport with TradePoint. Making big jobs smaller with a range of handy in-store services like free timber cutting and trade paint mixing. Find us at B&Q or learn more at tradepoint.co.uk.
Sol, I'll come to you first there, and your thoughts. Quite a few different players at times during that game did themselves proud.
Yeah, I think with Declan Rice, I think a couple of times he got in the right positions for those cutbacks and good clearances. You always need, being a defender, you always need that a really good, aware deep midfielder to cut those clever little cutbacks that you can't get as a defender. So he was in, his positioning today was excellent and spot on.
Sure. Phillips had a good game, didn't he?
For me, the pick was, and I think we had a lot of good, steady 6.5, 7 out of 10s in our team, but the two that I would probably pick out for special mention is Sterling and Phillips. I thought Phillips carried the fight in the first half. Sterling would be my pick. I think he scored the goal. He done particularly well. We wanted the ball in the first half and set a tempo with the odd question mark about him not starting. I think Gareth got it right with him.
Yeah. Shall we go with him, Sol?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Why not at all? So, Raheem Sterling there, our man of the match, brought to you by TradePoint, official sponsor of TalkSport's coverage of UEFA Euro 2020.
Man of the match on TalkSport with TradePoint, sponsor of TalkSport's coverage of UEFA Euro 2020.
Plenty more to come, and then we've got the reaction with Faker Others, our correspondent, the reaction from Jose Mourinho, more from Sol, more from Stuart. This is TalkSport, and being able to reflect on an England victory for the first time at a European Championship at the 10th time of asking. London 2020 and 21 sounds good tonight.
Euro Game Day live on TalkSport with TradePoint. Making big jobs smaller with a range of handy in-store services like free timber cutting and trade paint mixing. Find us at B&Q or learn more at tradepoint.co.uk.
Want to take your business online? Get started by securing your ideal web address from 123reg. Choose from a range of affordable domain names starting from just 99p, including .co.uk, or something more unique like .team. With no hidden fees and over 400 types of domains available, start growing your business by visiting 123-reg.co.uk today. Terms and conditions apply. Pricing excludes VAT at 20%.
Are you ready for the Euros? Then Betfred. Sign up online using promo code EURO40 and get £40 in free bets when you stake £10. Betfred this Euros. Download our app or visit betfred.com. New UK customers, promo code EURO40. Available between 30th of May and July the 11th, 2021. Deposit and placed first bet of £10 on football evens plus in one bet transaction. £40 in free bets credited within 10 hours of bet settlement and 7-day expiry. Full terms at betfred.com/promotions. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
He's found space in the car park, shimmied his way into Howden's, and now he's got to score. Clive?
Howden's are looking forward to a summer of football and fun.
And he takes home the match ball for free.
Get a free Howden's football when you open a new Howden's trade account.
What a way to open your account.
At all 750 Howden's depots nationwide.
Get in there!
T's and C's apply while stocks last.
Howden's!
Who's he trying to be? Me? I don't sound like that, do I?
Show dandruff a red card with the on-target action of T-Gel.
Steps up and scores!
Neutrogena T-Gel therapeutic shampoo is the only scalp treatment with new tar, a unique coal tar formulation with a triple effect proven to fight flakes, soothe itching and calm redness.
It's a hat-trick!
Get your head in the game with T-Gel therapeutic shampoo. Contains new tar solubilized coal tar extract for the treatment of seborrheic dermatitis of the scalp psoriasis and dandruff. Always read the label.
Hello, buddy friend. Boy, aren't you excited? Nervous? Well, up for the big game. Makes you want to kick back, jump up and down, hide behind the sofa. Well, luckily you can order exclusive deals on great food throughout UEFA Euro 2020 only on Just Eat. From Pizza Hut, KFC, Papa John's, Burger King, Greg's. Goal! What a finish. Get in, my son. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Available exclusively on Just Eat from selected stores and subject to availability between June 4 and July 11. See justeat.co.uk for details.
The game might be over, but Asda are just getting started with rollbacks on their amazing barbecue range, like a Butcher's Selection Smoky Bourbon Extra Large Rump Steak. Was £5.50, now only £4.50. Now that's a win. That's Asda price. Selected Asda stores online, subject to availability. Steak 450 grams.
Philip Schofield here. Did you know you can sell your car to WeBuyAnyCar.com in 3 simple steps? 1. Get a quote online in under 60 seconds. 2. Book an appointment at your local branch, usually no more than 15 minutes away. 3. After a quick once-over, they'll send the money to your bank. Easy as pie. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Euro Game Day live on TalkSport with Intuit QuickBooks. Don't get caught out by penalties. Get small business accounting software you can rely on. Intuit QuickBooks, helping you take care of business.
TalkSport. 100% pan-European post-pandemic football.
A world-class goal!
31 days of football ecstasy.
From Barry Island to Bucharest, we've got the Euros covered.
Euro Game Day live on TalkSport.
This is Euro Game Day live on TalkSport with TradePoint, with a lineup of over 40,000 products in stores nationwide and online. Get all you need when you need it at TradePoint. Well, we're just a few minutes after that final whistle here at Wembley, and England have beaten Croatia by a goal to nil. A Raheem Sterling goal, and a performance that will do for England, no doubt about that. Jose Mourinho will be joining us in about a quarter of an hour's time with his thoughts on everything that's happened. We're going to be hearing and getting reaction from Gareth Southgate and members of the team, with Faker others as this hour goes on. And not forgetting Austria against North Macedonia. That one's just an hour away now on TalkSport 2 in Bucharest. Full commentary on TalkSport 2. And the Netherlands against Ukraine at 8 o'clock tonight on TalkSport. So Stuart, so Sol, we sort of go back and have a detailed look to start with. That a good start from England. They sort of set out the game plan. For the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, they had real pace and energy, and it was a good start.
Yeah, it was a fantastic start. They were probing. There were those third man runs into the space. They were on the ball. They were harrying, hassling the Croatia backline. It was good. I really enjoyed that, but then we kind of dropped off, and then allowed them to come into the game, start to kind of tick it off, like Modric, dictating the play. Then, bringing the whole England performance